Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 6. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Share it on in your groups, honey, in your Facebook groups, and your TikToks, and your Twitter, or your X, whatever you like to call it, okay? If you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. Listen here. Before we start, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's listening. If you're listening after that day, then I hope that you had a great one. Outside of that, not me stopping my ham, honey, and prepping my meal to come and watch this snooze fest of a Married at First Sight episode. But y'all know I'm going to get into it nonetheless. Child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. Day 5 of marriage. So we see Becca and Austin, sans hat, morning breath and all. Poor Emily's hand is swollen. Cameron and Claire picking out clothes, probably complaining, honey. C. Cam, Claire, clothes, complaining. We see Lauren, and she tells us she slept separate from Orion, but got in the bed at 5 a.m. so he wouldn't wake up to see her gone. Baby, he needs to be watching your dust. Okay, you need to be on the first thing smoking. You need to be on the I-10 by 10. Okay, he needs to be left alone. So then we see Orion, and he says, everything feels a little bit offbeat, but, I'm ready to talk. Emily and Brennan. So they're going on an excursion. Emily has another sprain. Ma'am, you are accident prone. We might need to put you in a bubble. Sure, this is a fool. Brennan didn't let that stop him, though. He ain't no Austin. Baby, Brennan said, look, I ain't sitting on the sideline because you keep spraining and scraping and falling. Honey, I'm getting out there and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So he gets out there. He has himself a good time. Emily goes in the water and the poor baby could barely get up. She eventually got it, though. He said her flyboarding with a broken wrist makes her a catch. Okay, if you say so. Moving forward. Lauren and Orion. So they go to the cenote to talk. Lauren is blaming herself for where they are now. So they start this talk. He's asking how she feels, and she said, I'm okay. And she lets him know what she said wasn't out of malice. Girl, we know. And all those that didn't know, it wasn't out of malice, just so we're clear. So he starts seeing with this, him not moving on, a lot of things and not saying a lot of things. He was like, for one, who I am and where I come from, that's something that I'm not going to vary from. And I respect that. Okay, I respect that. You should hold yourself to a standard and you should give boundaries. I understand that. He then goes on to say, but I wasn't upset. And I was like, you were not upset. From what I remember, he said he was heated. So how weren't you upset? So then he goes, I wouldn't even be able to formulate words where I was. So I had to step away so that I didn't say anything to disrespect you. Sir, if you are not mad. Okay, see, the math is not math in here. 1 and 1 is equaling 76. If you aren't mad, then you would have been able to talk to her, no issue. But see, you like to get into a tizzy and have a full-on mantrum each and every time she makes one little mistake, which I still stand on. She didn't make no damn mistake. She looked at you and thought that about your sunburn, but we're just going to leave that alone, okay? She says she feels like space was the best thing for both of them. So then she says she wants to make sure that he's valued and seen in the marriage because she knows when he goes outside into the real world, them both being minorities, they may not be seen and heard or valued. What I want y'all to do is enjoy this damn honeymoon. I don't want to sit up here and be heavy every single review, baby. Y'all messing up my brand. It's a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. All I can give right now is a whole lot of detail. Y'all getting on my nerves, honey. Listen, we know that the tough conversations are going to come, but can y'all please enjoy a half a day, 5 minutes, 5 seconds of marriage? Enjoy the honeymoon. It's free. Because, baby, when y'all get to that shared apartment, it's going to be a whole fool. Moving forward. So she feels like they can still create something beautiful. And girl, he don't give a damn. They both agreed that the conversation was bound to happen at some point, and what better time to learn to navigate it than your honeymoon? Later. I do not want to navigate the tough subjects on my honeymoon, especially about no damn oppression. I don't want to talk about that on my honeymoon. I'm sorry. I feel the conversation was productive. Don't get me wrong. They both took accountability. Well, I don't know. I think she took accountability and he took her taking accountability. But as far as Orion, I feel like he's the type to make you prove that you will not upset him again and again. Y'all know what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Ben and the woman he was married to. And remember, Ben had Ben and Lauren. And he had to prove to Lauren that he was worthy of her love. He made one mistake. Talked a little too damn much to Justin. Justin talked to Alexis, who then took it back to Lauren, who took it back to Ben. Then we had to hear every single episode about him betraying Lauren's trust. This is giving Ben and Lauren all over again, and I don't want to hear it. I can do without Mr. Orion, okay? But their dialogue was respectful to each other, so we just gonna leave it there. Cameron and Claire. So they're going to do some splash painting. Yeah, the two of you need to loosen up. She said that she doesn't know if he's attracted to her. I'm sick of both y'all. Make a move already and stop criticizing each other. Claire, loosen the hell up. He's not one of your clients, okay? You don't have copies of his insurance, and you don't need to bill him after you go to the shared apartment. Please loosen up and stop trying to therapize him. Now, I know that ain't no word, but girl, you're getting on my nervous system. They finally loosened up and they started splashing each other with the paint. Cameron couldn't wait to splash Claire. I said, look at Cam. Cam, you ain't fooling me. I'm surprised they didn't have on smocks, though, because when I took my son to do splash painting, they gave us smocks and they gave us, eyewear and all kinds of stuff. Because what are these face shields going to do? Absolutely damn nothing. So after getting all that pent up frustration out, they go sit down, they start talking. They say they're both happy that they got to see a more fun side of the other person. Over on the other side, Emily tells us that her hair has turned into dreads because of the flyboarding. Ma'am, you don't have dreads, okay? Your hair's matted and natted. There's no dreads. Why didn't you put on a swim cap? Like, what is wrong with you? Baby, Emily's just irresponsible all around, honey. You could have contacted Lauren and y'all could have been bonnet buddies. You need a bonnet. You don't need a bonnet. Because I'm trying to figure out, how did you get there? That's what I'm really trying to figure out. Anywho, the men are meeting and the women are meeting too. With the men, Austin was like, so how do you guys like being married? So Orion was like, is everyone getting along? Because he couldn't wait to hear that so he could tell his story. My name's Orion and I'm ready to tell my story. Orion, shut it. So Cameron tells them that he and Claire had a very good time when they went splash painting and he got to see a more playful side to her. He didn't realize that she actually had that in her. They both have this silly and serious side, and Claire is really good at communicating, but not communicating to him what she wants. Over with Claire, she's telling them that her and Cameron aren't the most physical with each other, and she wants some advice. Girl, advice on how to get physical? Claire is so confusing to me. Do you like him or not? You are a therapist. I'm going to need you to not be afraid to communicate what you need to your husband. What are you saying? So Becca is asking her, like, how were you in past relationships? She says she's used to not getting affection from past partners or being seen out in public with them. But when she sees, everything that's going on with the other couples, she realizes that it's weird that they're not affectionate. Well, you cannot base the pace of your marriage on what you see them doing. Your marriage is your marriage. And you don't need to be comparing yourself to what they got going on. Because just because they kissing and touching, child, it don't mean nothing. And I do mean nothing. So she's saying that their attraction wasn't instant like everyone else's. And over with him, he's saying that he's very attracted to her. So she says that they haven't kissed or cuddled, but they have hugged. And he initiated that. So they're advising her, girl, reach out and touch his leg. He was hugging you. You don't remember? Girl, not them having to tell you that the man was hugging you. Claire, are you present? So then Lauren tells us, listen, it's not just y'all, okay? Me and Orion, we're going through it too. And they're trying to see each other and understand each other's cultures. With Orion, he's saying that Lauren is everything that he wanted in a partner and it's growing. Why don't I believe anything that comes out of Orion's mouth? And I do mean not nothing. I think he gets with a group of men and he wants to appear like his marriage is perfect. But deep down inside, he doesn't really like Lauren like that. He doesn't. It's just something in my spirit that's telling me that he don't like her like that. Over with her, she's saying that they have two different conversations, but they're comfortable with acknowledging conflict and they're both resolution oriented. So for them, it's okay to hit the tough subjects head on. Becca was like, well, I'm just basically waiting for the other shoe to drop. Emily reminds them that she's never been in a relationship. So they ask how that is for her. And she said, completely normal. Child, Emily probably don't even know what day it is. She just there for a good time, waiting to go to Pound Town. Maybe Emily don't know what's going on. She says she doesn't know what's normal or not normal. Brennan, on the other hand, is with the guys. And he's like, we're good. Lauren brings up that Emily wanted to have sex on the honeymoon and she felt like it would be weird if they didn't. So she's like, has anything changed with that? Emily says, well, I'm taking a different approach since this is my first relationship. So I'm going to enjoy building an emotional connection. So I guess she really is taking Brennan's lead, because if it were up to her, we'd already be hearing about it over and over again. So they're saying how good of a sport she is and how she's so sweet and she goes along to get along. And she's like, yeah, my hand hurts and my hair has been in dreads since this morning. Emily, I'm going to say this to you again. Your hair is matted and natted. It is not in dreads. You have micro links in your head. And you did not take care of your hair. And you should have had on a swim cap. But you do not have dreads. Over with Austin. Austin's answer about his marriage made me go, Okay, now I don't know if y'all caught it, but I did. And if you didn't, I'm here to tell you. So they were asking Austin about his marriage. And he goes, yeah, we're good. He said a lot to me without saying it. And he ain't fooling me. Okay, he really did. I think that Austin, at this moment, is enjoying the honeymoon. He's enjoying the frills, and it's a lot of adrenaline going right now. So he's not actually present all the way. And if he turned that damn cap around, maybe he could see what's going on. And what's going on is Becca is more into him than he is into her. I like them together as a couple, but part of me feels like Austin is not being 100% truthful. Becca, on the other hand, is telling them that she hasn't talked about the hard things, but they've been kissing and all of that, but that doesn't mean that they'll last. And baby, if that ain't the truth, the shared apartment is going to tell all of it. And I thought about that too. I like the fact that Becca and Austin are having a good time with each other, but I'm wondering how the dynamics will shift once they start having the hard conversations. Becca and Austin. So they meet back up and they chilling on the hammock. Now this is when I knew that my theory about Austin was right. Now y'all just hear me out. They meet back up. They're chilling on the hammock. He's telling her that the guys just talked about the marriage, but he kind of downplayed their marriage. So the other guys didn't feel bad. Oh, no, sir. She gonna see this back. And that's why you're telling her this up front. If anything, you would inspire and motivate them by telling them how good things are going for you. Why would you downplay your marriage to make these complete strangers feel good? Child, I wish I would. So then he told her, we know our relationship. We don't have to talk about it. We know it. You're hiding her out in the open. I don't like it. If the relationship is good, then tell them that the relationship is good. I'm not buying it, Austin. Moving forward. I'm starting to see the cracks in all of y'all. I'm just saying. He feels like it's very insensitive to rub it in their faces. And as I was watching Becca, aka Pink, I think that really hurt her feelings, y'all. I think it hurt her feelings. Now, she was playing it cool because she doesn't want to rock the boat. Honey, shout out to Aaliyah. She didn't want to rock the boat, but I do think that hurt her feelings. She was like, well, okay. Claire and Cameron. So he's telling her that he told the men how great she is at communicating, but he can get a lot better. She tells him about how she told the girls that she was comparing their relationship, and they brought to her attention how Cameron does little things that she does not acknowledge. She said, I kind of feel bad that I haven't focused on you at least trying, so she did apologize to him for that. He told her he was super optimistic. Okay, nice talk. Lauren and Orion. She shows up with his favorite ice cream. Now, mind you, She is doing a lot in this relationship to give it a go. And I think she still feels very guilty about his reaction to what she did not do. Because I'm not going to see it no differently, child. I don't feel like she meant to offend him. She shows up with his favorite ice cream. She's telling him how the girls were saying all these nice things about them, but she let them know that they're not perfect. They're just two people communicating and coming together to try to fix their marriage. She said, she was worried about how much trust had gone, and she felt like she had messed everything up. And I really want Lauren to understand that it wasn't only her. Okay, it wasn't. We're not going to just gloss over the fact that this man has used the N-word. And I'm not buying that little excuse he gave of, I sung it in a song. It's when I was young. I'm not buying that. Okay, I'm not. So I'm not going to just put this all on Lauren. Absolutely not. He tells her that he still trusts her and she did mess it up. I love the way that Lauren communicates. I do. I do feel now that she's doing more than ever. Okay, because she wants him to be satisfied with her, especially after that disagreement. And I also feel like she does more and he just sits back and agrees. She's giving, talking. And he'll come in and say, yeah, I agree. And I actually trust you. Yeah, you're good. I'm not buying none of this. She says she usually sits in it when she makes a mistake. So she's happy that he's giving her some grace. I don't like that she feels so guilty. I really do not like that. In the end, she said she was happy. He said he was happy too, but I don't know if I buy that fully. Day 6 of marriage. So all the couples are meeting up for the couples boat ride. You know how they like to do. Spice it up a little bit. On the bus ride, Becca sits with Emily to try to help her with that matted mess on top of her head. So she put it in 2 buns and Brendan is like, wow, you look awesome. Sir, please. Please. She literally did nothing different. I was like, Becca, you could have stayed in your seat, child. I don't see nothing different. So it's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. Honey, they're not going to be able to do nothing. They are getting awful weather on this boring honeymoon. I would be so upset. I came from snow to rain. See, even the weather knew that this wasn't going to work out. So the cruise director gets on and tells them the boat ride is a no-go. It's raining too hard, y'all. This is a mess. So they go to have lunch. Becca has a game and you pick up a card and you ask a question to whomever you want. So she asked Cameron his biggest pet peeve. He said a grocery store with no self-checkout. Let me tell you something. Self-checkout makes me too overwhelmed, honey. It makes me anxious, especially if it's like a whole line behind me. As soon as I get to that self-checkout, I'm always telling my son, I got to hurry up because there's people waiting. It's a no for me, big dog. Okay, check me out any day of the week. I did not come there to work. So they asked Becca, what area does she feel most fulfilled? So she wanted to say her marriage, but she says romance. Baby, Becca's nose is wide open. Do you hear me? Cameron asked Lauren who she feels the most vulnerable with and what about them makes her feel comfortable. She said her little sister. Before that, it was her mom. She said her sister does not judge her. Okay, I want y'all to keep that in mind. They have the same temperament. They like to listen and chuckle to the same jokes. And she does not judge Lauren. So they asked Emily what she's curious about that she hasn't experienced. She says she's curious to be in love. Oh, Emily. And listen, y'all, I actually really like Emily. She's chill. She don't do too much. She stay out the way. She's not really causing any issues. She just here to have a good time. And I'm happy that she's curious about love. Now, I don't know if this is the place to play Curious George, but I feel like she's open. She's just having a good time. So then Lauren asks Orion, what is she teaching him? To be pissy at every turn. Always have an attitude for no damn reason. But let's hear what he has to say. He said to talk about the future and it kind of made him catch feelings. What does that mean? What are you saying? What are you saying? So then he asked what he's teaching her. To walk on eggshells. And to not be herself and to never tell you anything because we don't know how you will react. And we don't know if it will take 3 to 5 business days to get you back on this side. But let's hear what she had to say. She said to give grace and be patient. Girl, you're going to need a lot of patience with him. Okay. Claire's was, what is the biggest life lesson that she's learned? She said to make sure you show the people that you love them. Okay, if you have feelings, show it, especially after losing her brother. Claire actually took their advice and reached out and touched Cameron's leg. I said, oh, okay, Claire Bear, I see you trying. I don't know how it's going to go, but at least you're trying. Cameron said his memories don't align with who he is anymore. I mean, I like seeing Cameron open up. I could tell that he couldn't wait to say that, but him not liking school, what child does? Okay. I mean, I loved school, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. But he said that, his parents got a divorce and he didn't like school. And so he started to act out. But who he was is not who he is present day. Moving forward. So after lunch, Emily called someone to help her take those extensions out. This man didn't take any care with Emily's hair. He immediately got the scissors and started cutting. No, ma'am. I would have stopped him dead in his tracks. No, you will not just get these scissors out and get to cutting in my head. You should have asked Lauren to help you with your hair. Isn't she a stylist? Did I get that wrong? I could have sworn she was a stylist or something, honey. I don't know, but you should have asked somebody to help you. All you needed was some good old conditioner and just let it sit. But here we are. So when he got done, she had 3 strands of hair in the back. See, that's why I can't do those micro links, honey, because they will tear your hair up. Do you hear me? Tear it up. So they're trying this outing again, okay? Because now the sun has semi come out. I don't know. The weather is just awful. I know Emily is getting a good breeze in that head of hers because she ain't got no hair. Oh, child. I know that wind tearing that scalp up. Do y'all hear me? So they get on the boat, finally. I see Cam and Claire getting a little bit closer, but I'm not buying it. I think she's trying, but she's still tense. And I'm sorry, but Emily's hair really didn't look any different to me, y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't see the difference. I wouldn't have known it was matted had she not told me. Because she stayed with them 2 little buns in the back, so I didn't know. Actually, I'm bored with this boat ride. I have no idea what was being said. So I went in and started to make my apple pie for tomorrow and also take a refreshing beverage break. Always Coca-Cola. Honey, y'all know how I like to do. Now, what I do remember from the boat ride is I remember Claire and Cam getting on my damn nerves. I remember Brennan and Emily talking, and he was telling her that he appreciates her and she's earning his trust. Oh, okay. Till micro links do y'all part. I also remember Cameron finally letting Claire know that he's attracted to her. Okay, Claire, now you can act accordingly. These 2 right here really get on my central nervous system. It's giving a fool. So they all jump in the water. Everybody's trying to have a good time. I don't think Lauren jumped in the water though. Honey, she's not about to play with them braids because they already a little fuzzy. So she just needs to stay on the boat. Lauren and Orion. Baby, this is what we're all here for. Y'all come in. Get a little bit closer. Let's get into it. So they go for a romantic dinner, honey, but there was no romance to be seen. So they're talking about the day. And so she's like, what was the highlight of your day? He said the dancing. Not being with her, but the dancing. So she brings up that she likes physical touch and she liked the fact that she was touching him. She really enjoyed that. She was like, it just makes me imagine what it would be like, when we actually do the horizontal polka. He said, how do you think it would start? Now, me personally, I didn't want to throw up a little bit in my mouth, so I didn't really want to hear what they had to say. But for the sake of this review, I had to listen. Here we go. She said, it would start with fellatio from you, because I feel like you like to get down there and really get into it. Lauren, you ain't slick. You letting them know you will be going first. Baby, Lauren letting him know, baby, you will be going first. And that's just that on that. Honestly, I cannot see Orion doing nothing but getting on my damn nerves. Even in the bed, he gonna be complaining about something. Oh, you like it from the back? You know what, actually? Turn the lights on. Actually, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I don't normally do it that way. I'm more of a missionary type guy. But I mean, if you want to. I mean, he just seems like a wet blanket. He could mess up a wet dream, honey. It's nothing about Orion that I would want to do anything with. So he's like, you're right. I'm more of a giver. So he starts talking about how he likes to go from head to toe. Okay, let's move on. Moving forward. So she asks how he felt about toys being involved. So he tells her he has a little collection of his own. Huh? Not you got your own toy collection to use for other people, or what's going on here? I was just like, now, how did I guess that? I knew he was going to say that. Lauren got a little freaky side to her. I see you, Lauren. She gonna eat that intimacy exercise up when they do that, because you know they do that every season. She said she's not in a rush to actually have sex. She wants it to happen organically. And he was happy about that because he said it had been a year and a half since he's been intimate with someone else. So she tells him, it's been 2 months for me. Wrong road, Lauren. Wrong road. Now, Lauren felt safe with him in this space because they had already been talking about the freaky deaky. So when she starts to say what it is she's done, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Oh, Lord, here comes Orion and his temperament. He said, okay, I feel uncomfortable because going into this, I thought when we found our matches, we were engaged. She said, me too. I had sex before they revealed that I had been matched. So then he says, well, you know what? I know my worth and I don't want to just hand myself out. So are you shaming her? What the hell wrong with you, Orion? What the hell wrong with you? Is she worth less than you? Orion, now don't piss me off. Now, see, I thought I was going to be able to go through this season without having an episode like I did with Chris, Olajuwon, Isaac, and his neck tattoo, and whomever else that I have had to go at in these reviews. Orion, you're really starting to get on my nerves now. So she asked how he felt about her having sex 2 months ago. And he said, well, it kind of took sex off the table. Well, don't threaten her with a good time because it probably wasn't going to be hitting on nothing no way. Oh, he about to see another side of Lauren. It's official that I am not an Orion fan. I am not. He's very judgmental. He's condescending. And everything she tells him or says, he magnifies his response by 10. That was unwarranted. She didn't know you. It's giving little weirdo. She didn't know you. And when she did find out that she was in fact matched with someone, then yeah, it's time to get married. It's all or nothing. So it was all or nothing at that point. So I don't understand what you're mad about. I will request to be matched with Michael. Now, he ain't doing nothing. Child, his bride ran away or whatever they orchestrated to happen. And let Orion go back to his mama's house so he can be in peace with his worth. Child, I wish I would. I would not even worry about anything that he says, because now that she's made yet again another mistake in his eyes, she is going to have to rectify it for the next 4 to 5 days. I don't like that. That is a toxic cycle, and you really need to get a grip. If you're perfect, just say that. Because I didn't know that perfect people signed up for Married at First Sight, because if you could do it by your damn self, then you would have. Also, you probably didn't have sex because there were no options. And that's just that on that. And that was the end of the episode. Baby, the best part was the last 5 minutes of the show. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Did you happen to watch? If not, I just ran it all down for you. Again, have a happy holiday. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.